Average buy. Let's see what you got.
The reaction when people hear that we have 2 trans kids is pretty shock and awe.
Before I had transitioned, I had like a piece missing to me and it just didn't feel right. And I was nervous to tell my parents.
I don't even know which way he transitioned.
Anyone can be whoever they want, and it doesn't matter what your opinion is.
We're not gonna allow our kids to feel shame or fear. They deserve to feel loved and accepted.
Being trans, to describe it, it would mean you were born the gender that you don't feel like in your heart.
Good morning. Being trans isn't like weird, and it just means that you are biologically the opposite gender or a different gender than you are.
Okay. You're hungry?
Mm-hmm.
The opposite gender? Wouldn't that mean that genders are binary? That's kind of bigoted to say.
Hello, Forsen and chat. Can you all guess what I am eating right now?
No. Nachos.
You said poo-poo. You are wrong. Never mind, you are correct. Whoa, I love it.
The last week of school. James' graduation is on Friday. Are you nervous about middle school?
Yeah.
What are you most nervous about, James?
I don't know. Everything?
When James was 8 years old, he asked to transition, which meant social transition, which is not permanent. He got to use he and him for pronouns. He then, this past year, changed his name legally and his gender markers legally.
My friend's coming.
Yeah, your friend was going to come over. I think he's coming over this afternoon. It's going to be a hot day.
I started to realize it in first grade when I told my mom I wanted to have my hair short and that I wanted to look less girly.
So James approached us in a casual way by dropping hints from the time he was 7 until he was 8. He would say things like, I'm half boy, half girl, half gorilla. And I would think, you're not good at math like your mom.
I remember a time that he said to me, sometimes I feel like I'm a boy. And at that point, I was, trying to be a supportive parent and said, yeah, I've got effeminate feelings and I get that. And that's okay to have feelings that are masculine and feelings that are feminine.
I'm done.
Okay.
But the truth of the matter is I was missing these clues, these breadcrumbs that were being dropped around him, kind of testing the water.
Before I had transitioned, I had like a piece missing to me and it just didn't feel right. And I was nervous to tell my parents.
Which one are you coloring?
This one.
Which one?
The treehouse one.
Oh, I like that.
When I told them and they said that they accepted me, I was like super happy because I know a lot of trans kids don't have that, and that's sad.
Who was the first person you told?
My best friend, no. I told somebody who was my friend, but their parent is transphobic, so I can't be friends with them. They said they agreed with their parent, but also agreed with me. And honestly, if somebody does think transphobic ways are okay, then I don't want to have a relationship with them.
He just now, a month ago, started hormone blockers. It's an implant. It is to prevent his puberty. It will prevent a menstruation cycle and breast development, which would cause a lot of havoc mentally and physically for him if he were to start developing those second sex characteristics. Can you show me what the blocker looks like that's implanted? First, show me in your arm. Where is it?
It's right there.
Right there. Can I feel it? Mm-hmm. Does it hurt?
It feels weird, but it doesn't hurt.
And what's the sample look like that you have?
It looks like this.
And he is counting down the days until he can start testosterone, which would be the first time something permanent would be happening, because at that point it would affect fertility. If you use a blocker and go on to testosterone, your eggs would never mature.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to go through female puberty for that, which is something you could do.
I could, but I don't want to.
Why?
Because it's uncomfortable.
What's
to think of that. I'm a guy, and it's like if any other guy thought about being a woman, that's uncomfortable.
And you've always said you wanted to be a parent.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about that if you can't have your own child?
Adopting, is a great idea to me.
Do people ever wonder if you're too young to know if you're trans?
Yeah, and, are they too young to know that they're cis? I transitioned first, so I think that helped Olivia see that it was okay to be trans.
That's amazing. Is it bigger than yesterday's, or is that?
I think it's actually smaller.
That made it easier
That's
for
wrong,
her
though.
to come out and tell my parents because she knew that they would be
The
accepted.
same way some people are too young to know they're gay, right? It's not a completely falsible logic. This is the same, exact same.